Hi, yeah, it's Xavier, and welcome to my bonsai retreat. Today we're going to have a look at two flowering trees. My quince, which has got these lovely flowers on them, and big leaves. But also we're going to have another look at my sage, which has got the flowers at the end of it now. It's flowering out. We're going to be pruning that back. But the first thing I'm saying, we've got a little baby one here as well. Lots and lots of budding lower down, so I'm going to do some heavy prune back on that. So, if that's the sort of thing that you like the look of, feel free to join me. Okay, so this quince has already featured in a video last year, and was a gift from Dawn Isaac of Dye Ceramics, who you know makes a lot of my pots, and it's really flourished. So the process is quite straightforward with this. I might keep just one or two blossoms on there to see if they can go to seed, because if I can get a quince on there, I've never tried, so we'll see what happens. But really all we're going to be doing is feeding it and pruning it. Give it a spin first. It's got a very basic structure to it, which I like. There's Mr. Bumblebee. He likes the flowers. In fact, Mr. Bumblebee's probably not happy. I'm going to remove some blossoms. Starting at the base, we've actually got here, this coming from the same junction. I like this branch. It's actually got a nice division on it, so the first thing we can do is remove that. I'm sure you could probably have a go at that as cutting, but you know full well I'm trying to avoid cuttings. Here, I think what we're going to do is just look and see where buds are. So we've got a leaf on this side, a leaf on this side. We'll cut back to those. Now, I've never worked on the common garden quince. Is there such thing as a common garden quince? Don't know. We don't want all these big leaves, so get rid of any stubs as well. So we've got 1 and 2 there. And then, looking at here, 1, 2, oh, we'll take 3 off, there we go. And I'm going to remove that leaf. A little brown spot on that, probably need to spray that with something. So we move inwards. As I say, it divides main branch and then 2, and then we've got smaller ones here. So I'm just going to keep it so that I've always got 2 bud points coming out. And again, I'm doing what is called a partial defoliation, so I will remove 1 of every 2 leaves in pairs. And again, I don't think that'll cause any issue. The plant is very healthy. I think it's going to encourage it to push out a second flush, smaller flush. And in the end, if it doesn't, if I'm trying to develop this as bonsai at this sort of size, there's no point having big leaves on it. I've already got that with the oaks and the sycamore. That might be the flower I'm going to keep. Maybe, no, I'll keep a flower higher up. So I've got a bud point there and there. Okay, so we'll cut back to there. Following around, we've got this branch coming out from here. We've got a lower one coming here. Well, we'll ignore that for now. I've got a funny feeling, in fact, we've got a big cut junction here. I need to clean that up, actually. What I've got to decide is whether I actually want this one here, or whether I actually want that at all. That's the front. We've got this, that goes out to the back. And we've got this one along there. That's probably the one I don't need. Maybe, I think what I'm going to do is cut that there. I want to develop that one because I think this one is actually going to get in the way this here. Yeah, that's definitely what I'll do. So clear that. We'll let that one grow out. Clean up the stub a little bit. But again, with these, I don't know, because I don't know how they react to dieback, I'll seal the top and just see where a collar forms. It's still a bit soft to apply wire to it, but I just want that to grow stronger, so I'm going to just let that flounce out, so to speak. Stub on the back. I can already see a small leaf in the crutch of that, so I'm happy that that can. Okay, so we look here. Will we have that going up? Okay, here we've got some very strong branch going upwards, but because that is not where the leader, could that be where the leader goes? No, this is sticking with the leader. We've got taper going between there, so I don't need to go that way. So I'm going to remove that. It's my decision. Like that. So then that way we've got this one here. Okay. Right, so getting back to this one. Cut that almost pretty flush actually. Pretty flush there. So we'll watch and see how that heals. And we've got two leaf pairs there. Coming further out. An ugly stub there. Just under there. We'll get rid of that. And that is actually a really coarse branch. And though I'd like to have two there, it's very coarse. And I'm not sure I'll get anything from there, so better. Well, we'll go in halfway, we'll take that one off. I don't think I'll get any back budding there, but I don't know for sure, so I'll wait and observe. We've definitely got some sort of brown rust. Don't know. Anyone know what that brown, is that a brown spot? Not a brown spot, but brown spot on a quince. This one here, which could actually end up being, I wonder. I'm wondering if I already use that as the taper point and remove. We'll keep that, but I could see this one here taking over on that one actually. We'll go back. Could eventually see that actually. Imagine if I cut that one there and then get new shoots that way, and that way. That means you get a lovely bit of taper on it, rather than what we've got here is this long expanse. If nothing grows from here, that's useless. And again, we've got quite an expanse here, so there'll be the first bud points out there, so you're not going to get any growth until here. Whereas if I do it there, I can actually get the growth much tighter in. I'm wondering if I take that decision now, what would Nigel do? Do you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. I think that'll be fine, to be honest. Just as a health and safety, yes, this does contain some prusalate or whatever, and yes, there is studies suggest that it can be potentially cancerous. So I do recommend that you wear the right PPE when you're doing this, and either use a brush to paint it on, which I'm going to try and do now. I'm going to go and find myself a brush and do that in future. Yeah, apparently it alters DNA or something. Who knows? Maybe I'll grow 3 heads. So we're letting that grow out. I just put a very light bit of wire so it grows in the direction I want. Or I could actually just cut it back. Do you know what? Just cut it back. Okay. It's an awkward, because it's coming right from the front. And again, see, this is where I'm more than happy to use wire. I can actually wire that out that way, which is what I'm going to do. Attach it to that one. Okay. So that means I want to keep that flower. That's why. So get rid of that and get rid of that one. And then we've got a natural. Of course, the other advantage, and we all know, of removing all these big leaves is that light will suddenly be able to get into the centres. Certainly important with maple. But with anything, there's another spot on there. Definitely. Okay. That branch is lending itself out to a back branch, which means our front does have to be here. Something develops that way. The question I'm asking myself is, do I actually remove this one here and grow this as the new leader? Not a lot of taper between those. Not sure. There we go. All right. I'm not entirely sure which way I'm going yet with it. Definitely put some wire there. Okay, I'll put some wire on. Need to finish. Okay. So what I wanted to try and do was just move that across, just as gentle. Just to take it away from the centre line a bit. This one doesn't need to do very, very much at all. In fact, I'm wondering whether actually, if I take it, here's the easy one. I mean, my initial thing, I was going to take that one down, but actually, the further lower I go on, the more I'm going to create a 90 degree there, and we all know how much I hate 90 degree bend. So I might actually just take a little bit of the straightness out of that. Perhaps just take it up a little bit. We'll see what happens there. And then further on I can maybe bend those. Now I don't want to do too much, right? This is the main one I want to do something with, is bring it back and around. Carefully. It feels quite a brittle, it's quite a brittle wood, so I want to be very careful with that. Okay, and then this back one doesn't really need to do very much at all. As far as things go, as far as I'm going to go with that, as I say, I'll feed it up. Got a little bit of chunkiness down there, which I might actually see. Interesting, just here. There's a little shoot. That would be a great place for a little twin to come out. And I could have a mother and daughter bonsai. So clearly it will bud from points along the way, so I'll watch that. See what happens. Okay, so that's me done with the quince. I think we need to go over and have a look at the sage. Now these I do know about. These are easy. You can literally clip them to pieces, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here. The flowers of these always grow very, very high from them. So I'm going to bring it right back. What I want to do is keep everything close. There's lots of little ones there, which actually, probably the one I want actually. There. That's quite a straight, maybe. Maybe I cut that off there. There. I don't know where the front is there. We want stuff from there. I want these to grow lower down, actually. These ones here. Don't want this one here. Let's just control. That one has actually got a little branch down there. You can't wire these, so that's not going in the way I want it, so I'm going to get rid of it. Might well get rid of this one, or actually get rid of that one. And I mean, look at that. I mean, I won't do anything more than I will. Let's just take the center out of that one. Okay. Yeah, so that's the sage. It is an experiment. It's still going strong. No, it's not the best here. But I want to let those roots, lots of roots to combine, so that next time I do a repot I can then be a lot more confident that they're tighter together when I manipulate stuff. Could be that in the end that one actually does get removed, and I run this as a single. Interesting. Run that one as a single. Anyway, that's sage number 1. And again, this one, that's a cutting from the parent plant. Just cleaning off stumps now. Firmly in there, that's good. And all along here I can see lots of little baby ones ready to shoot. So that's a couple of sages as well. Seen the quince. I think that should be enough for now. As you can guess now, I'm right into post-flush hardened pruning. I'm generally, when I'm doing this, looking at directional, cutting back to 2 directional buds for the second flush to come from. And their way, creating the ramification I need. So, from Xavier, in my bonsai refuge, enjoying the fact that it's about to chuck it down yet again with more rain. Apparently we're going to have thunderstorms all afternoon. I've got to get my sheets in. But that's probably not what you wanted to know anyway. If you've enjoyed my content, then you're probably still watching. If you haven't, you won't hear this. So it's a wasted message really. But if you haven't hit like, please hit like, because the algorithm loves it. If you have social media, share any of the videos that you think are actually worth sharing. And please hit the notification so that when I've got new content coming out, you get a chance to find out. Because every now and then I do Premiere, and for those of you who've been on the chats, you know I love to chat. And I have to be careful of that, because sometimes I think I chat across so many people that I become a bit of a obnoxious person. I like the word obnoxious. Looks how it sounds, isn't it? You've got obnoxious, so your nose crinkles. No, anyway, I'm going off on one, aren't I? So from Xavier, in the bonsai retreat, I say thanks very much for taking the time. God bless. Happy bonsaiing. Cheers.